China is one of the largest and long-lasting empires in history. Its origins date back to be 4,000 years old. However, the China we know today was greatly constructed in a short time of 15 years. The Qin Dynasty was the first dynasty to unify China and create an empire. Much was accomplished in this short period. Until 221 BC, when Qin Dynasty became victorious, the lands of China had been hosting wars for centuries, which is a period called the Warring States. Qin Dynasty became superior to other kingdoms throughout decades because of their developments in agriculture and their use of horses in military. Ying Zheng took the throne at the age of 12. He marched against the last standing rival, the Chu Dynasty, when he was 22 years old. In 221 BC, when he became victorious, China was unified under the rule of Ying Zheng, which made him change his name to Shi Huangdi, meaning the first emperor. Shi Huangdi started his first major project by linking the walls which were built between Chinese kingdoms in order to protect themselves from each other. The Great Wall is one of the largest projects in history. It is 3,000 miles long. Many peasants were forced to work in the construction, which resulted with some of them dying, causing the first oppositions against Shi Huangdi to begin. The unification of China continued with many other innovations. Shi Huangdi unified the currency, the language, the laws, and the measurement units, resulting with a common culture within the unified China. Shi Huangdi was an ambitious ruler. However, he was not the kindest. The public started getting disturbed by his actions. People were forced to work on constructions of the walls and canals, which also caused an economic crisis in the empire because of the enormous costs of the Great Wall. Shi Huangdi realized the opposition against him and became even more ruthless. Hundreds were killed or burned alive because of their thoughts against the emperor. Confucianism and its followers were seen as traitors. Shi Huangdi started a vast destruction of knowledge by burning books and destroying any material which mentioned his false actions. Shi Huangdi was a legalist, creating strict laws to form an authority rule. In his last years, Shi Huangdi became obsessed with death. He made alchemists search for the elixir of immortality, resulting with him dying by drinking mercury, that he believed was the key to eternal life. Before his death, he concluded one more project.
The Terracotta Army was constructed to accompany the tomb of China's first emperor as an afterlife guard. Terracotta was built to show first emperor Qin's glory and the army he led while uniting China. A terracotta soldier is 1.8 meters long and it is 160 kilograms. Each warrior was stamped with the name of the foreman responsible for its creation in order to track any mistakes. Terracotta figures fall into three major categories: infantry, cavalry, and charioteers. Armed warriors wear robes covered by turtleneck, heavily armored capes designed to protect their chests, backs, and shoulders. Cavalrymen wear pillbox hats, neck scarves, and light body armor to the front and back. Their shoes are soft and around toes so as not to injure their mounts. Chariot drivers have extra protection for their outstretched arms and hands that need to control the horse's reins. They wear helmets to protect the back of their necks. The hairstyles of terracotta warriors were based on their ranks and arm of the services. Hairstyles of figures can be divided into two types. The first type includes figures wearing the hair in a bun on the right side of the head. The other type represents figures wearing their hair in a plait and forming a bun at the top of the head that was then covered with a cloth cap. Bands, ribbons, or pins were used for tying up their hair. Many of the figures originally held real weapons of the time, such as bronze swords, longbows, arrows, spears, daggers, axes, and other long-shafted weapons. These weapons were treated to make them resistant to rust and corrosion, so that even after being buried for over 2,000 years, they are still sharp. The museum mainly consists of three vaults and exhibition hall: Vault 1, Vault 2, Vault 3, and the exhibition hall of the bronze chariots. Vault 1 is the largest and the most impressive one. Vault 1 has the size of an airplane hangar. It is believed to contain over 6,000 terracotta figures of soldiers and horses, but less than 2,000 are on display. All the most impressive terracotta army pictures were taken in Vault 1. Vault 2 uncovers the mystery of the ancient army array. It consists of 4 units. The first unit contains rows of kneeling and standing archers. The second one is a chariot war array. The third unit consists of mixed forces with infantry, chariot, and trooper standing in rectangular array. And the last one includes numerous troopers holding weapons. The 4 units form a rigorous battle array. Vault 3 represents the command post. The carriages have about 3,400 parts each and were driven by 4 horses. The second one is 3.17 meters long and 1.6 meters high. The bronze horses vary from 65 centimeters to 67 centimeters high and 120 centimeters long. Each weighs 1.234 kilograms in total. Emperor Ershi was born in 230 BC. His name at birth was Hu Hai. He was the second son of Emperor Qin Shi Huangdi, who was the founder of the first Chinese dynasty. Started ruling after his father's death and got the name Ershi, which means the second emperor. Also, while he started ruling Qin, his oldest brother Fusu had been ordered to commit suicide. He was a weak and naive emperor. His mentor, Zhao Gao, easily manipulated Ershi. Because of Zhao Gao's manipulation, many ministers, military personnel, and their families were killed to prevent them from criticize and act against Ershi, manipulated by Zhao Gao. Ershi did running of his empire for a short time. Then he removed himself from running the empire, and he spent his time acting as an aristocrat in his palace. He had no wife or no children. While his sovereignty continued, the people started to got tired because of paying higher taxes and new increased heavily laws. So people were not happy under Ershi's short rule of 3 years. Then they revolted and fled the area governed by the Qin Dynasty. After 3 years of Ershi's sovereignty, his old mentor Zhao Gao turned on him and took over the palace with his troops. Zhao Gao forced Ershi to commit suicide like his older brother Fusu, and then placed Xing, who is Ershi's nephew, on the throne. Xing's rule ended in less than 50 days, and he was killed soon with the remaining members of Qin family. The capital was destroyed after the death of Qin Dynasty. The Qin Dynasty survived for 15 years.